Well, good morning, everyone. Here we are on April the 20th, Friday. I'm off to do the boys' Bible study this morning, and we're still reading through this portion of David's history, and so we're reading through a number of his Psalms today. And I guess the theme for today would be trust. Trust. Psalm 128, first couple of verses, really sums it up, for me at least. And it talks about the commands. It talks about the blessing. It talks about the function. Blessed are those who obey, who follow the commands. Is what's really being said here. And sorry, it's taken me a second to get going here. Function is something some of you will know that I've really been exploring for the last little while. That everything has its function. Our body has a function. I keep using the body as an illustration. There's a way that God has created this body. There's certain foods that we need for this body to work at its optimum, for it to function properly. We need certain activity for it to function properly. It can function at a lesser degree. Functioning at a lesser degree will mean it'll eventually break down. But when we operate in this body, when we function in this body, when we give this body what it needs, when we treat it properly, then we are blessed. We're blessed with good health. We're blessed with energy. We're blessed with everything that we need to carry on what we need to do. This is the way of the kingdom. The kingdom is set up with function. It's for us to discover. We've been given the commands in order to know. People treat the commands as the do's and don'ts, but the commands are really the instructions on how to do things in a way that allows function in the kingdom, that allows for those blessings to flow, so that we can have the right attitude, that we can have the right perspective, that we can access the correct resources for those things. If you don't know what promises apply to which situations, then you won't know what fortress to run into. You won't know what's ground to stand. You won't know what's acceptable or what's available to you. And so we find here in Psalm 128 this whole idea that those who obey, those who follow the commands, are blessed. Is it blessed because of their obedience? Well, obedience is part of it. Them following the commands means that they're obedient. So as a result of the obedience, they're following the commands, which allows for function, which allows for the blessings to flow. It's not a difficult leap of faith to understand this, but to follow those commands require trust. We have the commands and we have the voice, and both require us to obey, and both require us to trust, to walk in those things that have been given to us. Our calling is often by the voice. It's not by the commands. Living a life that honors God. And that's also what Psalm 120 talks about, honoring God. To live a life that honors God is following the commands. It's righteousness. And oh man, we can get into all of this, and I really want to get into all of this because it's when we talk about not living under the law, we don't live under the condemnation of the law, but it doesn't mean that we ignore the commands because the commands are holy and perfect. It just means that when we mess up, we're not under condemnation, we're under grace, which means that we learn from that and we move on. We grow in that. We learn from those things, and God uses everything to benefit us. Maybe it's just me, but I had a completely different understanding on all of these, and growing up, it wasn't fully explained to me, and only recently am I coming into greater revelation on this, that the commands are holy and they're perfect, and I was told that. But I didn't understand that learning to live them brought me into proper function, which allows the blessings to flow and all things to work properly. And following those commands takes you into deeper places and deeper understanding, so that you begin to understand those commands. It brings us into a richer fullness with God, a richer relationship, a greater intimacy with Him when we walk in obedience to those commands. But we're not under the condemnation of the law, and that's the beauty of it. But let's take time and read again Matthew 5, 6, and 7. Understand the commands of the Lord, understand the life that He's called us to, understand how the blessings flow. I just pray that you have a fantastic day today. I pray that you'll meditate on a couple of those commands today. Just consider them. I pray that you'll be attentive to the voice as the Spirit speaks to you and gives you direction in your day, and actions that you need to take. I just pray that there'll be such an overflow for you today, and that you will feel blessed, and you'll feel the closeness of the Lord, and you'll understand that when we're in trouble, we turn to Him. Give us this day our daily bread. Give us this day our daily bread. He's our provider. And forgive us our trespasses. Forgive us our faux pas. Forgive us our mistakes. Forgive us our arrogance. Forgive us all the things that trip us up. Forgive us today the things that we're going to do, as we forgive those who do the same thing to us. Be blessed. Let it flow. Let it flow today. Let it flow, people. Let it flow. God bless.